talk a little bit about where we are in the time of year. I've
Yep.
been thinking a lot about, so in my regular space, I've been, for the last 15 years or so working kind of at the intersection of sports media and technology. And during that time, there was a time where I spent about 4 years working for the NBA. And, there's a thing we used to say, it's like, the league is always going to be doing well as long as LeBron and Steph are on television, one.
Right.
And two, it's even better when they're playing each other. So, at a macro level, it's like you need star power and you need rivalries, right?
100%.
And, even in today's
I think rivalries, even more than star power, especially at the collegiate game and a little bit the pro game to me, and you know this better than me, Alvin, the pro game, because of the free agency, it's not the same.
it's changed.
It's
It's changed
changed
a
quite
little
a bit.
bit.
There's still the historic Boston, LA, right? But
Yep.
at the same time,
But they're
it
selling that to
still
like an older
revolves around the
generation.
stars.
Yeah.
And if I could kind of do a crossover on tennis, how great were the Nadal Federer matchups?
Yeah.
I mean, they were
Yeah.
epic. They were classic. I mean, some instant classics. And it's not to say there weren't great Federer Roddick or Novak and Rafa matches. There's been a bunch of great matches.
Sure. Yeah.
Rafa, Fed playing Wawrinka. I mean, there's been some great, like, ooh, that's a good match. But historically, and the ones you remember, Agassi Sanders, right? You
Well,
got old school.
the beautiful thing is always the contrast, right? So, I go back to like 2014, 2015 NBA season. That was the first season that the Warriors won the championship, right? And they
Right.
played the Cavs in the finals. But you have
Yep.
the juxtaposition of like LeBron is this superhuman type of being that no one could imagine being LeBron James, right? Because
Right.
he's not like the rest. Well, closer to you, guys about the same size.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Steph is the
You're
guy
a little
down the
bigger than
street.
me.
Right. The Steph is the guy down the street that you could try to shoot threes from the other side of the cul-de-sac and pretend like you're Steph Curry, right? He's like almost like every man's superstar. And so, but that juxtaposition between those two really made, that kind of 4 year stretch really a special part, like a special time in basketball.
Right.
And, I say that to say, like, as we come out of the Nadal, Federer, again, like juxtaposition, right? You got a lefty, a righty. One
Yep.
looks like he's not trying that hard. I know that bothers him a lot, and the other one looks like he's trying exceptionally hard. And it's all the opposites that juxtapose against each other make it for a beautiful clash that makes for a great rivalry. And then obviously being at the top of the sport for so long.
Yeah.
With where we are right now in the tennis, especially on the men's side, specifically on the men's side,
Yeah.
where we have 21-year-old Carlos Alcaraz, like he's already got four slams, right?
Right.
And then you've got Sinner, a little bit older, about 2 years older, and he's got three slams now. Is it three? Three.
I think it's two. But
Just two? Just this
it.
year. Oh God, he got them both this year. Jeez. Okay. Well, yeah. There's
If
that.
it's if then he may have three.
No, it's three because he won the Australian. Yeah, he beat Medi last
before.
year. Then won the U.S. Open and then won Australian Open again. Yep.
Right.
So, but he's right there, right? So we're talking about this potential rivalry moving forward, and there's some other players stepping into it. But I feel like that we're getting that back right now, like especially after the last few weeks with Carlos doing so well on clay and really seeming like he's finding himself, finding his joy again. I think that's kind of maybe the benefit of Jannik being out for a little bit, right? It's like giving Carlos some space to just kind of be Carlos again. Like now that he's decided to do it.
I think that, as the ATP works, he may have been in one and Carlos could have been in another one at certain points in time. But to your point, I think Carlos has taken advantage of a centerless ATP right now, and good for him to kind of find his stride. I was actually concerned about him because you would have thought, as potent as his game was, he would have posted a little better result in both Indian Wells and in Miami, and he did not. So I was actually happy to see him take advantage of, they say in hockey, there's times when there's, it's 7-on-6, right? And during that time frame, when you get that guy in the penalty box, you don't know, you got to take it back. Once that time is up, that guy comes out of the penalty box, it's back on. I mean, you don't have that advantage anymore. So, and best believe, Alvin, that Sinner's training somewhere. I mean, he's not.
They posted videos of him like he was training at the Monte Carlo Country Club indoor
Yeah.
as the Masters 1000 was
Thank
ending,
you.
right? So
He's playing like, buddy, like
yeah,
I ain't missed a step. I'm in Monte
no,
Carlo.
yeah,
I'm 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 putting a little bit of the clay from in my tea in the morning. I'm just making sure I'm at one with what's going on. Don't think I'm not watching. I'm not scouting, buddy. I might be scouting and working harder,
yeah,
because I'm watching you guys. Don't think that I am taking it easy,
right.
and I think that's something that for Carlos, he really needed to kind of step up a little bit in the time off to really kind of establish himself again. Because while he had four and Center had two going into this last Australia, let's face it, Center has won since Wemby of Carlos. Center has put the smack down, on the ATP tour, and doesn't look like he's wanting to relinquish it anytime soon. So
Right, and
it's a
I
big
like
time
that.
for him to downshift a little bit for Carlos Alcaraz.
Yeah, and I think the last few weeks has really kind of done great things for Carlos, right?
Yep.
He won Monte Carlo, ended up losing in the finals today of Barcelona
Rune.
to Holger Rune, and it was he might have been a little banged up, but Holger played well. Like Holger did some things tactically, like he really held the baseline well.
Right.
And I think Holger is another one of those guys, same age as Carlos, and kind of like that's what we're going to be talking about a little bit later on. But I think the guys who are having the opportunity to kind of fill that space and really create a 4-year kind of window of players between Jannik being on the older side and Artur Feast being on the younger side, who
Sure.
Carlos has played 2 weeks in a row now. So
Yeah.
I think it's exciting. Iga's coming. I mean, not Iga, pardon me. Sinner's coming back on May 4th. He's going to be playing in Rome. He's going to
That's
play Hamburg,
two
and then it's
short
all
weeks away. We're
yeah.
2 short weeks away.
We got one more biggie. We got Madrid right next week, I believe, and
Yep.
then Rome, and then it's on, right? So
Yep.
yeah, I just wanted to say that I'm excited about it. I love the idea
Yeah.
of these guys starting to fill that space.
Yep.
The top 5, top 10 is looking a little bit different now.